You've come to the right place for veterinary team efficiency. You may have seen recently a blog I wrote on 4 tips to an efficient veterinary team, and we're going to further elaborate on that in updating job descriptions and specifically using this exercise called a day in the life exercise. Hello, I'm Rebecca Rose. I'm a credentialed veterinary technician in Colorado, and I'm the founder and CEO of Catalyst Veterinary Practice Consultants. So in this blog, I wrote 4 tips to an efficient veterinary team. And then the one we're diving in today is a day in the life exercise and updating job descriptions. But it also mentions daily rounds, improve communications, and consistent messaging improves efficiency. And also encouraging your team members to excel in something that they're passionate about. How do you identify what they're passionate about, and how do you support them as a manager or team lead? So those 4 tips are very worthwhile. And this idea of creating job descriptions is something I have firmly believed in for a number of years. Oftentimes I'll walk into a veterinary hospital and speak with the managers and team leads about job descriptions. Some don't even have job descriptions, and others haven't seen or updated them in years. So when I do ask, well, let's update that and let's create new ones, most of the time the response is, oh my gosh, Rebecca, when in the world am I going to find the time, carve out the time to create this daunting task and overwhelming task of job descriptions? I can understand that. It is something very large to tackle, especially if you have a bigger veterinary practice. But through this exercise, you're going to learn how it can be done as a team. It can be done in a rather fun manner, and there can be learning throughout the whole process. Job descriptions are fundamental to job success in that upon just even determining that you need a new position, one of the things you start off with is let's create a job description around that. Let's identify the exact person we need, whether that be a veterinary technician with a specialty or skills in leadership, or a veterinarian that actually wants to take on management roles. Whatever this looks like, it's centered around that job description for that position needed. So this is an example of a job description for a practice manager. And this is a great tool for success. I do believe that job descriptions are living documents, that one size does not fit all. Now, if you are truly hiring that veterinary technician that just recently graduated, that has not worked in a veterinary hospital before, then yes, the general entry-level job description is precisely what that person needs. However, we rarely hire that person anymore. We hire a veterinary assistant that can be filling positions, hiring veterinary technicians that have elevated skill sets, possibly one as a technician specialist in dentistry. And as those team members grow and are with you for a number of years, their skill sets improve, their passions are identified. And when that occurs, those job descriptions need to reflect what they're truly doing in their job and while they're at your veterinary hospital. So evaluate your job descriptions for relevancy. Do they truly reflect what's going on with your veterinary team? And then again, the managers and team leads do not have to be, oh gosh, this is so overwhelming, because we're going to ask the team to participate in this. Now, you may be evaluating job descriptions during performance reviews and goal setting. I think that's fantastic. Kudos to you. And if you want to take it to that next level, consider this exercise, a day in the life. I do believe for each position, for the receptionist, the assistant, the technician, the veterinarian, and the manager, I believe all of them should have job descriptions, and that they should all know and understand there's at least 4 ways for them to grow in that position. I strongly and firmly believe that. So here is an example of the day in the life, and you will be receiving this download, this PDF, so that it walks you through it. It gives you all of this information. So here is an example of Jane Doe. She's a credentialed veterinary technician, and you ask your team members over a 3-day period of time to write down what they do in a day and to list it from a scale of 1 to 5. Did they enjoy it? Is this something they like to do in their career? So here is Jane's list, and this is by no means a complete list. This is just an example. She helped prep for surgeries. She intubated and administered the induction agents for those surgeries. She scrubbed and sanitized the surgery room. Woohoo! She put together all of the invoices and the take-home educational sheets for the clients regarding those surgeries. She invoiced all of those surgeries. She called the owners and contacted them and reached out to them saying everything went fine. And during that day, she put together 20 kitten and 20 puppy kits. Now I'm highlighting this number 5 here because she thoroughly enjoys the surgery aspect of her job. If that's the case, this veterinary technician may be a great candidate to become a specialist in surgery. There's currently 13 opportunities for veterinary technicians to become specialists, and 22 opportunities for veterinarians to become a diplomate. So this is the first example. The second example is of a receptionist. So she organized and refilled the brochures in the exam room. She admitted 3 patients in 45 minutes. She helped Mrs. Smith do her car. She reviewed and set up 4 incoming clients for tomorrow, highlighted those vaccinations, checked the heartworm testing and preventatives, thyroid tests that were due. And she called 4 clients about prescriptions. Now here we're saying that she really doesn't enjoy calling these clients. Now it's up to you as a veterinary team or manager to determine, is that because of lack of education? Is it simply because she doesn't like to call clients? What is the reasoning for that? The next example is Dr. Smith. During his day, he did some surgeries. He wrote up all those records and checked all the invoices related to them. He helped the technician get ready to do an upcoming surgery. He saw vaccination appointments and did some consultations for the upcoming surgery. And he sat down with a kennel attendant to review the patient care of renal case that he's seen in-house. So all of this, again, is just a snippet of, we know what veterinarians are doing. But the point is, we rarely ask them. And how many of your veterinarians have a job description? So I want to point out here that Dr. Smith really doesn't enjoy doing the record keeping nor the invoicing. Okay, we understand that's part of his job, but are there ways that we can help alleviate that? And is it truly in his best interest to be doing those anyway? Can we find him an assistant that will be elevating that and making that better for him? So when you ask your team to do this exercise, you may find that creating in a survey is the best way for you to do it, or maybe giving them an Excel spreadsheet on the desktop of your computer. Maybe there's a way that they can track this in their phone throughout the day because they already have access to that. Maybe just having them write it out and then collating that information. But what I've found that when this information is collated and you're actually getting this bird's eye view, this snapshot of 3 days, which is generally pretty reflective of what's going on for the most part, you're going to see that there's redundancies, there's duplicated tasks, and gaps also that may need to be addressed. As an example, when we were talking about the credentialed veterinary technician putting together the puppy and kitten kits, there may be 2 other people who are perfectly capable of doing that and doing it equally as well. So does 3 people really need to be overseeing that or doing it? Is that efficient? I'm just posing the question. It's up to you to decide. That's just one example in duplicating a task that probably 1 or 2 people can easily handle. When this is all collated and you're getting this bird's eye view and your team members have sat down and recorded these things, now it's time to ask them to make those reflections in their job description. You can give them a template, you could give them their current job description, or you can even ask them to create something totally different. It's up to you as a manager or team lead to identify that. Now, you will ultimately find gaps and duplicates, I guarantee it. During an upcoming team meeting, you can put this out there. You can bring all the material to light and say, okay, guys, we are really rocking it in these aspects of team efficiency. Kudos to you. What have we learned from this exercise, and how can we improve upon our efficiency and efficacy? Now, I'm going to warn you as a manager and team lead, when you ask for their insight, it's up to you to listen and let them know that they're being heard, and ultimately to follow up on their suggestions. You may find during this team meeting, you may find that there are 3 things that you can identify right away that you could be doing better because your team wants to do it better. They're giving you solutions to it. You can approach this as a very innovative way of becoming more efficient. There is nothing more demoralizing than asking your team their ideas and their suggestions and then management not heeding them at all. So that's why I warn you, if you want to ask them and they're giving you great solutions and suggestions, you really need to act upon them. Well, that was the end of our presentation, and I know that you can ask questions and further reach out to me. I'm happy to answer them and even come in and do a consultation in efficiencies and efficacy, or even reviewing your protocols. I'm happy to do that. Actually, I'm overjoyed to do that for you. I would like to invite you to my upcoming Dimensions in Veterinary Management. This is being offered in Colorado along the Front Range in Littleton specifically, and also an online programming, which can be done from anywhere at any time. You may learn more about this program on my website, or simply Google Dimensions in Veterinary Management. I think it's going to be a great program. I've actually given it 3 times in Colorado on the Front Range, and it's going to be quite an experience introducing it online. I think it will be a great experience for the people that attend. Thank you for participating and joining me in this conversation around team efficiencies and creating a day in the life exercise with your team so that you can really assess your job descriptions and bring them up to date. Please feel free to reach out to me. Here's my information. Thank you again, and have a delightful day.